Hey friends, Jeremy Reed here. I wanted to make a video on alcohol consumption. It's a question I get a lot, not only from my online training clients, but just from my Facebook page and all over the place. I get a lot of messages and emails like, how bad is alcohol consumption for our health and fitness goals? There's a lot of varying opinions out there. I've heard of all from, well, it's just the calories you're drinking in the wine or the vodka or the rum. It's an extra 300 calories in my evening, no big deal. I've, subtracted that from my dinner, or I made room for it in my day. And so an extra 300 calories, not gonna hurt me. Unfortunately, that's not 100% true. So, the short answer that I give to my clients is this. Alcohol is pretty detrimental to your health and fitness goals. Because when we consume alcohol, it makes it harder for our bodies to digest the foods that we also eat with it. I mean, let's face it, a lot of times food and alcohol kind of go hand in hand. If you go out to a bar, you go out to a club, a lot of times what is there with alcohol? Bar food, hot wings, nachos, mozzarella sticks, these types of things. On the other spectrum, you could go out for a nice dinner, have some steaks or some salmon or some chicken, and there's wines to be paired with that. A lot of times, especially as I've seen it or I've experienced it and working with clients, it seems to be that alcohol is usually compared or paired with food. So here's the nitty-gritty. Here's what's actually going on. When you consume alcohol, that alcohol gets turned into a compound called acetate. You can think of acetate kind of as like vinegar. You can think of acetate as vinegar. It's kind of a vinegar-like compound. When acetate is in our system, it's considered a poison. So our body's gonna do everything it can to get rid of that poison ASAP. So when acetate is present, when alcohol is present in our system, our body runs 100% on acetate. It uses that acetate 100% as its fuel source until it's gone. Now it does this so that it can get rid of it as quickly as possible. If you were to eat a meal and drink at the same time, and our bodies were to just be like, okay, I'm gonna take these carbs and proteins and fats and this acetate, and we're just gonna process it all at the same time, it would leave that poison, that acetate, in your system for longer because it'd be competing with all the other foods you're eating. But that's not how it is. Our bodies know, hey, this is a compound that I don't want in me. I'm gonna get rid of it as quickly as possible, and it does that by running purely on that and nothing else while it's present in the system. So the acetate is being processed in our system. Our body is using that as its fuel source 100% of the time when it's present. Now, here's where the downfall happens. If you're eating along with that, our bodies are going to store, not in the percentage, and the amount kind of does range on how much alcohol is present in your system, but think of it like this, in the layman's terms. The food we eat while we're drinking is gonna get stored as fat. That's essentially what it is. Your body is not running on the carbs, the proteins, and fats that you're eating with that meal. It's running on the acetate, the alcohol that you're drinking, and so it's gonna store all that food for later. And so as you're eating and drinking at the same time, you have to understand, no matter how healthy or how clean that meal is, it's gonna get stored as fat. Now, on the flip side, let's say that even you're like gonna try to outwit this alcohol, and you're gonna be like, fine, I'm gonna drink, but I'm not gonna eat. Well, if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to sustain a weight where your body is metabolizing its own body fat, so you're in a caloric deficit, hey, I'm dropping some pounds, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have a few beers, or I'm gonna have a few drinks, or a few glasses of wine, whatever your poison is. You have to understand, again, when that alcohol is present, 100% of our body's fuel source is run off that acetate. So any fat metabolizing that you thought is going on, or even if you're in a caloric deficit, is not gonna happen. Our body shuts down all fat metabolizing, a burning of our own body fat during the presence of that alcohol. So let's say you're gonna go out and you're gonna have 3 or 4 drinks spread out over 5 or 6 hours in the evening. This alcohol is spread out over several hours in your evening. You're not burning fat during those hours, even if you're not eating anything along with it. So you've essentially cut out a decent percentage of your day where your fat burning ability isn't there. It's not working to your advantage. And that's kind of the, I guess you could call it the best case scenario, where you're drinking and not eating. Anything you do eat with it, it's more likely, much more likely to be stored as fat. So anyway, that's kind of the long answer that kind of goes into what's going on in our body when we consume alcohol. Now, even after kind of explaining this to some degree to some clients, they're like, okay, look, so what's the best way that I can go out and have a few drinks and not have it completely demolish my goals? And I wrestle with even adding this to this video, because it's kind of like, well, I don't want to encourage people to go out, as a health and fitness coach, I don't want to encourage people to go out and get drunk or drink or whatever. But here's the best case scenario. If you know you're going to go out and drink, I'd recommend doing it on an empty stomach, and then also avoiding food that evening. Let your body just burn on the alcohol. That's it. If you find yourself with hunger pains to where you are starving, your stomach is totally empty and it's like, I need food, you're miserable, my recommendation would be to pick something like a salad, just a salad. Like, no other high calorie or calorie dense or calorie rich food added to it. No protein, no cheese, no heavy dressing. If you have to do a little bit of dressing or something to get it down, I'd recommend like even squeezing a lemon juice on your lettuce. The lettuce is going to actually fill our stomach and reduce those hunger pains, but the amount of calories taken in by even a huge salad is very, very little. Lettuce is mostly water. So that would be your absolute best case scenario. If you know you're going to go drink and you're going to, it's going to happen, that would be your best case scenario. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do this, but I get that question a lot, so that would be my suggestion for you. Anyway, hope you found this informative. A lot of people don't know what's really going on behind the scenes when we drink, and they think that, hey, alcohol is really calorie dense. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have 2 drinks and boom, there's 400 calories. Good thing I skipped lunch. But they don't really realize what's happening behind the scenes and how it literally kind of shuts down your body's ability to burn fat and shuts down your body's ability to use the other foods that you're eating as a fuel source. So it can be very, very detrimental, especially if you're that type of person that's like, I'm going out for Thirsty Thursdays, I'm drinking with my buddies on Friday, I'm gonna have some wine at a nice dinner on Saturday, and then I'm gonna have a good nightcap on Sunday to start out my week. Well, there you have it. You've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's 4 of the 7 days where you're consuming alcohol, even in smaller quantities, and it can be really detrimental. It can add up and really be detrimental for your goals. So anyway, there you go. Let me know if you have any questions. Share this with your friends. A lot of people don't know this, I'm telling you. I've got thousands of people on my Facebook page. I receive hundreds of messages a week, a lot of questions about alcohol, and people really don't know the kind of behind the scenes truth. So share this with your friends. I really appreciate it. Hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Jeremy Reed Fitness, Instagram @Jeremy Reed Fitness. Visit my website, jeremyreedfitness.com. I have a brand new recipe book out that's fantastic, filled with tons of healthy, clean recipes that taste fantastic. You can pick it up now. It's an ebook available for immediate download, jeremyreedfitness.com. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.